Hey guys, welcome to my overview for this insert that I made for the Return to Dark Tower base game and Alliance expansion. I felt it was a little bit too much boxes, so I figured I want to put two parts of the game into this nice big box. So let's have like a little bit of a look at what that looks like. So I don't know if there's actually any lift in this box. There might be, it's hard to tell with this, but you know, it depends on how well you put everything away. I think it's, if there's any lift, it's very minimal. So let's have a look inside. So obviously there's the rule books, as I'm sure you would anticipate. Then we have the 4 boards for the guilds from the Alliance expansion. Then we have the boards for the players, and this does include the Archright and the Haunted Recluse. And then we have the game board, which I'm sure you're familiar with if you own this wonderful game. So let's see. This is what the actual game now looks like. There's this little baggie because the Alliance expansion has you pull the skulls from the back, and you can put this wherever you like, but I really like this little place here. And as you might have seen earlier, the board goes nicely around it. It doesn't interfere with anything else, so that's nice. Getting rid of the baggie, we have a couple of custom things. First off, we have the box for the skulls. I'll show at the end how this actually works, because this actually has a cool feature. Then we have this card holster, which will hold all the cards, as well as the little boards that you put over your player board with the new actions for the expansion. So, you know, all the cards. And, you know, this is a prototype print, so it's not the greatest print quality at all. But, you know, you can kind of see, like, there's this little bush area so that you can easily get the cards back out. And they fit really well. Not too tight. I mean, they're gonna pop out if you flip it over, but they're pretty snug. Let's see. Then we have the virtues. So these are holsters for the virtues. I made 2 of them so they're a little bit easier to store. And as you can see, you have your different player colors here. So these are, for instance, the virtues, I think, for the Haunted Recluse, probably, Sin Bearer. And again, these are kind of tight, but not super tight. So, like, you know, you can move them a little bit, but at the same time, they might fall out. It really depends on your own printer settings, honestly. These are the other 4, and that includes the one with the Champion of the East, West, North, and South right there. Awesome. So then we have this part, which is obviously the insert that came with the game. I just do one thing differently. As you can tell, this is a slot that was originally made for the skulls. I put the Haunted Recluse and the Archright in there. Honestly, you know, I've been looking at it. I don't really shake my games around that much. I store them horizontally, but like if I'm moving these around, like they're moving just as much as the other ones, or just as little. So I don't feel it really matters. So anyways, let's put this to the side, and then you'll see that there is a little tray underneath it. So this thing goes on there, which is part of the expansion. Not a super important part of it, but it's very cool. Then we have the Ash Strider's Rivers of Fire go in here. And we have the, well, the markers, I guess. That's what they're called. You can actually just store them in here like so, but I don't actually use these. So I just figured, you know, I don't want to, like, if I ever decide to sell the game, which I probably won't, but I'd rather just have them nicely in there rather than having them completely popped up. But it will work either way. And yeah, this goes on top here. I mean, it'll flip over and everything, but it doesn't get in the way. And you can easily just drop this on there. You know, there's plenty of space underneath here, and that's what that tray is using up. Now, usually, I'm not going to do it for the video, but usually when I set up, I just grab the entire thing and the tray comes off. You could super glue that tray onto that if you really wanted to. I don't know if I'm gonna, like I said, if I ever end up selling this thing, I want to keep things as intact as possible. But so there we go. This is also part of the regular game. And we obviously have the Dark Tower and all this type of stuff. You know, this is the regular insert. It's kind of curious, like, that these cards go in this way, because at first I thought they were supposed to go like so, but no, they're like this, so maybe that helps somebody out who's been like, why don't these cards fit well? Anyways, so I've got the small cards here, I got the bigger cards here, I got, you know, the tokens there. I have the Dark Horde expansion, so, you know, that's why I'm not using these much, but because I have all this stuff in here, I can actually play the game with just this box now, including the full expansion, so that's kind of cool. So then I have 2 trays that look exactly the same, and these have all the resources, the warriors, the spirit, influence is what it's called, right? So yeah, 2 of those. Let's take them out. And then the final thing I made is something that you actually kind of want to keep in there because you don't need to take it out. But there is this little tray which has the spore for, I think, the lingering rot, the siege trees for, I don't remember. All the dungeons, I think, are these. I haven't played the game enough yet to know these things. Then there's the first player token. It's a little loose in this version of the prototype. The one that I'll upload will be tighter, but still fitting, so that this will just stay in place, hopefully. The battlements, which is for the Archright in the expansion, and then all the stuff you need for the guilds, the 4 flags and the 4 tokens. And it fits really nice, really easily. I mean, my fingers are pretty big. I mean, they're not super big, but I can easily get in here and just grab them all out whenever I need them. So it's pretty straightforward and easy. So let's put that back. There we go. And yeah, the only other thing that I kind of need to mention about how everything goes, so let's take the tower out for a second, is underneath here. So like that also adds a little bit with everything in here, but underneath here I actually store the remaining tokens and the Are You Ready to Take on Dark Tower, and there's a couple of pages of instructions underneath there as well. Now the reason why there are 2 of these things, right? So 2 of these. I prefer to play with them like this so that you have the nice plastic ones. However, if I take all of these and put them in the other one, it will still fit. It's a tight fit for the big warriors, but it'll still fit. So, given that these are the same numbers as the other ones, you could take them out of the bags and have one with all cardboard. So this one could be all cardboard. And this could be all plastic. And, you know, if you have a group that really goes through these things, like, I mean, I'm sure that's rare, but you never know. If that's your group, this insert will support that. You can have the cardboard in one and the plastic in the other. I like this better because it's easy to just put them around the table, and this is on the one side, so 2 players have access to this, and this is on the other side, so 2 players have access to that one. So I think that's pretty cool. So the final thing that I want to talk about is the little skull box, because I could have put the skulls in here probably. Would have been a tight fit, but I decided to do it like this. So first off, this grid is not part of the insert. You get this grid by setting your bottom layer and your top layers. Well, you basically turn them off in your slicer, and then it'll just print the infill grid, and then you get a little grid. Doesn't matter, honestly. And, you know, it's a friction-based lid, so it should fit fine. If it doesn't fit fine, you need to change the settings of the printer. Let's see if this works. I haven't tested this, but this works great, because you don't want this to pop out. I mean, these things are really easy to lose. So anyways, let's take this back off. So I got these guys in a baggie. The reason why I like to keep them in the baggie is because if you're playing with the expansion, they're going to tell you, the app's going to tell you how many of each color you want to put in the game and replace the white skulls with. So, you know, either we're making a big insert where they're all separate and you can just pick them out for like the first 2 minutes of the game, or you can just use a baggie, use a little lid that comes with it, and just be like, okay, let's toss them out, and they're all right in front of me here as well. You might notice also that I have 2 white skulls in here. That's because there's 2 extra white skulls, because in the game you have to have 24 skulls, which is important because when they're out, you lose the game. So, one of the features is, well, I mean, and this is a silly feature, but like this is all, they have fillets on all the sides, so it's really easy to take these skulls out. Like if there's only one left, if you push it to the side, you'll see that they get pushed up because it's kind of like a bowl. So that's nice. It's easy to pass around, all that kind of stuff too. But then there's this little lid, which you can put on here and which should fit perfectly, like so. And whenever a skull, when a building gets destroyed, those skulls need to be removed from the game. And when I was playing, I thought that's kind of annoying because now I had to go put them back in the baggie or something like that. And I didn't like that. So I wanted a little box that basically has this little thing so that the ones that are removed from the game can just be taken out that way. And at the end of the game, they'll all be nicely and safely tucked away so you never lose any of your skulls, because we don't want that to happen. So yeah. And that all put together is my insert for the Alliance expansion and Return to Dark Tower. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.